Hello once again, and we thank you for joining us here at Free to Become Me channel. As usual, we ask if you haven't done so as yet, please like, subscribe, share, and follow.
Welcome back to Free to Become Me channel. We want to thank everyone for joining us today. And in this video, we want to talk about how Belize has changed our perspective on life. I will say the biggest thing for me as far as change and my perspective is going to be how I think as a person, I've always been humble for the most part, but I believe coming to Belize probably has humbled me even more. Sometimes living, my perspective, sometimes living in the United States sometimes can make you a prideful person. And when you go to other countries and you see how they live and you see how humble the people are, it really does change your outlook on life, and moving here really has humbled me. Also, I will say my faith, the way I look at life now, the way I move through life now is different than what it was before I got to Belize. Faith has turned to probably trust now, trusting the Most High. And then I probably would say even graduating to I know what the Most High has called us to do and what He has planned for our life according to His Word. So I know that He's going to take care of us. He brought us to Belize. He gave us this vision, and this is where we ended up. So now I'm at a place where I just know. Okay, and another thing I probably would say as far as what has changed my perspective on life, just my patience. And when you have patience, you really do look at the world differently. Things are not the same, when you go from having either no patience or a small amount of patience, because when you have patience, things just don't affect you like they did when you didn't have patience. So that's pretty huge, in my walk, because that's something I always prayed for, is to have patience. And like I've said in previous videos, the Most High bringing me to Belize, I don't know if there's any other place He could have brought me to, because to come to Belize, you really do have to have patience, because, this is Belizean time, and Belizean time is not like U.S. time. So, and then I would say, moving to Belize has, we're living within our budget, and when I say living within our budget, in the States, I speak of me, you tend to waste. You waste a lot of money. You waste really a lot of what you don't have. I remember I used to be on Amazon. Now, I might have not been the worst, but still, I wasn't the best. But you waste money buying stuff on Amazon, stuff you don't need. You look in the closet, you have clothes that still got tags on it. And that's just ridiculous. So that in itself, coming over here and not having, a job like we had in the U.S., we don't have income coming in constantly like that. So at that point, you do have to live within a budget, and I thank the Most High that we actually own our home. We own our home, we own our land, and we own our car. So, right now with everything that's going on, especially in the U.S., with people losing their jobs, and it really is, it's horrible, but it's also an eye opener and how you really can't depend on this system for anything. I don't care what it is, because at any point when they take it back, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about the mortgage? What are you going to do about the car note? What are you going to do? But if you push to try to pay things off, your home, your land, and don't get me wrong, it's tough. It's not easy to do it in the States because everything is so expensive. But if that's your main focus, is to try to pay things off versus buying things, you get there quicker. So, in the States, I might have, saw this differently, owning a house, but in reality, do you really own the house? Because if you're still paying the bank, you don't own the house. The bank owns the house and you paying the bank. So you really don't own a house. Only when you pay something straight out do you own it. And the only thing you have to pay on it is going to be, like the land and stuff, is going to be your taxes. And now we don't have major bills. We don't have major bills. We may have, a couple credit card bills, but as far as major bills, we don't have that. So it truly has been a blessing for us to get over here. So even if the Most High brings us over here just to get rid of all our bills and get ahead and then take us somewhere else, that in itself was a blessing. Okay, because if we would have stayed in the U.S. right at this time, the time that we're living in now, where everybody, everybody's losing their jobs, people aren't getting paid, basically working for free, if we would have stayed, we still would have had a mortgage. We still would have had a car note. But because we followed the direction of our Father, we ended up being ahead, because now we don't have any of those things. So, moving to, like I've said this before in previous videos, when I first got here, probably the first year, it was tough for me, and I couldn't see then where I'm at now, because you know how it is when you're in a storm. You can't see through the storm. Only when the storm lets up do you actually start to see. So that's what I would say, as far as my part of it, my perspective on moving, how Belize has changed me. So now I'll hand it over to Big Ron. Ron.
Yep. Hello, Facebook family. How y'all doing today? Now, my version of how Belize has changed my life since moving here. First, I'll start with the peace. I have gotten a sense of peace. I think the only other place I've felt like this is probably being when I, growing up in the Virgin Islands. You always had a sense of peace. Like you felt like you can go anywhere on the island. And you have you don't have to have that little thing behind your ear saying, watch out for this, watch out for that. But because living in the USA, a lot of times you go places and your third sense tell you, watch out, be careful, look out, but over here and then where we live is just a real true sense of the word peace, so that's one I would say. Second thing is what I think has changed most is our financial freedom, because like my wife mentioned, as far as having a mortgage and car notes, but being that we paid all that stuff off and got rid of all that stuff, that is number 2 for me. 3 would be health and diet. My personally, and my wife, my wife eats good, 99.9% of the time. Because she be counting the calories and all that stuff. But I'll never count the calories in my life. But anyway, health and diet wise, I don't eat as much red meat or meats as I used to at all, hardly. And even the side dishes here is basically brown rice and vegetables most of the times, and then I eat chicken and fish. So and then the plethora of access to vegetables and fruits is just everywhere. Everywhere you go, you can find it real easily. Next thing too is my spiritual growth. I think when you have this much time on your hand, if you choose to spend more time in the Word and to allow yourself the opportunity to grow and let the Word and the Almighty change those things about you that are not in alignment with His Word and the things He's called you to do, true change can come about. Because, like we say, when you're around friends and family and stuff like that, your growth can be stunted for a long time, even all your life, because you have a tendency to depend and rely on the things around you, the environment, and the people around you. When you're in a place like this where it's just you, in this case, you and me and my wife, and we don't have anybody here, so we have to rely on, Yah for everything, the Almighty Yah. Next, I would say it has also helped me look at my marriage deeper. So to me, it has grew me and both of us in a way where we have a more healthy and honest marriage, because if you're going to be in a place like this by yourselves, you want to first like the person you're with, or it's not going to work. If you can't sit around and talk about anything and everything and be honest about it, and because that person is your best friend, besides for the Almighty Yah. I mean, it's you, God, and the Almighty Yah, and your wife. So I would say that our marriage has been strengthened, and also there's been next, I would say, mental growth. Because for us to even accept and get to the place where we recognize we have certain things about us that needs changing, and then mentally and even physically, some of the stuff you're needing to do. I've grown in that area where sometimes you just have to do what you got to do, bottom line. I would say also, with all this time too, the benefit of not working and not feeling you have to, not you want to, because I know most people that have a job throughout the United States and other places, they feel they have to go to work, so not having that over your head where you feel like you have to go to work, or next week something's getting cut off, or you're in that cycle, that work cycle. So that's a next big change that also, and that also falls in line with peace and everything, because there's a joy that comes from that when you don't have to work, and there's nothing wrong with working. I don't have nothing against working, because some people are doing what we're doing and they still have an online job and they're doing different things. I have nothing wrong with that, and I don't have a problem doing it either, but not having to feel like you have to work, like you're handcuffed. And I know a lot of people make decisions based on their job. They won't go certain places. They in their minds they're thinking, I can't do this because my job, I gotta wait until I get 67 or 65 before I can retire, and this and that. So they're handcuffed because they now feel that the job is their provider,
Their God.
Yeah, their God. That's what it boils down to, But I know somebody's watching this video and is thinking the same thing we were thinking and we are thinking. But I like to just encourage somebody else out there that's watching this. If you are thinking about doing something like this, it doesn't have to be Belize. Your peace can be anywhere else in the world. It can even be in the U.S. But it's just changing your mind, the way you think about money, the way you think about the system. Because there's a lot of unlearning to do. A lot of things we were taught from the time we were young, we have to unlearn. And I would say that's about it. I will finish up at that. Well, we want to thank you for watching our video, and we hope you guys come back and check us out again. Have an awesome and blessed day. And that is going to bring us to the end of another episode, folks. We do thank you for joining us and watching, and we do ask, as usual, that you like, subscribe, share, and follow. And please leave a comment on anything. If you have any questions or anything you'd like us to discuss in the future, just leave us a note. We'll be happy to answer. Have an awesome day.